Welcome to Sachi's Archive. I'm Sachi, and thank you for joining me today. This is Minecraft Engineering Notebook entry 004.1, where we'll be continuing to document the banking system. This entry focuses on the public banker Celine. We will document all of her dialogue and buttons. Before we begin, please check the description for this video's required dependencies. If you're following along and building this system yourself, now is a good time to pause the video, grab your engineering notebook and a pen or pencil, and get ready to document today's entry with me. If you find these notebook entries helpful, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Let's get started.
Now, on entry 004, the first part, we learned the command blocks that go under here and the command blocks for the ATM. Today, we're going to actually work with the banker. This is where her non-hidden spot is, and I'm going to show you where her hidden spot is now. And we talked about where, how to put hidden. The most important thing with a hidden spot is that you want to make sure that your NPC is in the same chunk. So basically under where the player is. It doesn't have to be exactly, but you don't want to put, like for Celine, I'm not going to put her, I don't know, hundreds of blocks away, or it won't pull up the NPC. So this is my regular banker that when you show up at the bank, this is the one you're going to talk to. Okay? So we are going to, and she's in her hidden spot. And everyone hopefully has their notebook and their pens and pencils ready. So I'm just going to mark hidden spot just so that I remember. This is the hidden spot. This is the public facing. I'm going to put her name down as Celine, but I don't know, what you will name your NPC. But it's that public facing banker. So perhaps you just name that NPC banker. And we're going to start with her button. So her dialogue we're going to start with the dialogue. And her dialogue is, welcome to Wellbridge Savings, where we are more than a bank and you are more than a number. And what I'm going to do is I'm writing this down. And she just says, how can I help you today? I'm actually going to write the buttons too. The first button is current rates. The second button is the exchange. And the third button is XP savings. She will have a couple more buttons. I just haven't done that yet. I usually like to make my NPCs have RNG. You can say hi to them and they'll say something to you, not the same thing every time. They say, maybe 3 or 4 different things they'll respond to when you say hi. They might say it's a good day or how are you or be annoyed with you. But I do not have that done for Celine yet, so I just took away that button that just said hi and did nothing. So that is the beginning of her NPC. Now we're going to go to advanced settings. The first button is current rates. I'm going to get a new piece of paper for this. Is current rates. It is button mode, and it's quite a button worth of stuff. So just to explain this, um, because I have a seasonal system on Wellbridge and it's running, it's just going to run all the time. And it's just going to change seasons. So you go from season one, which I'm using season one as spring. Season two is summer. Season three is fall. Season four is winter. So every season, the rates at how much I'm going to charge you to or pay you if you sell me a diamond or you sell me gold, um, or if you sell me netherite. I'm going to pay you a certain amount per season, or I will sell them to you for a certain amount. And what this does is this button just checks and sees what is the season score. And if it's this season score and a player pressed the button, when the player presses the button, it's going to read what is the season score. And if you press the button, it's just, whatever that season score is, it's going to tell you what the rates are for that season. Okay? And so even though there are four executes, these are just four commands, mind you. It's just going to check if it's season one, then you're going to tell them these numbers. If it's season two, you tell them these numbers. If you just want to have an exchange system where it's the same price all the time, then just make up your prices and only do one execute score. In fact, you don't even have to do an execute score. You would just do whatever is after the run in this command. So the command is execute if score season Wellbridge matches 1, run, tell raw at P, and then you tell the raw text. You wouldn't even have to you would start in this command block, you would simply do tell raw at P and then the rest of that command. And then whatever your numbers you want. And so it doesn't have to be, um, it could just be always, your gold. If you sell it to them, they're going to pay you 3 emeralds per gold ingot or so many, I think, gold blocks. And then they're going to sell gold blocks to you for 5. Um, that's how you would do that if you're not going to do the season system. But I do have a season system, so now I'm going to write this stuff down. Execute if score season Wellbridge matches 1, run, tell raw at P, and I use the chords that I thought the person would be standing at to talk to Celine. And I'll show you that after I get this written out. And because I put R equals 2, I'm thinking, I'm not going to be that particular. If you're anywhere in that area and you clicked on Celine, there's probably not going to be a lot of people in line talking to her. And if you press that, she's going to, if you're within a radius of 2 of the block, 140, 64, negative 792, then she's going to tell you this raw text. This will come into the person's chat. Okay, one execute score done for season 1. Now I'm going to do the second execute, and you'll see that I really did try to make the prices go up and down, and certain seasons are better for certain goods. Cool thing too is if there are two people in line, they're going to hear you're going to hear, like, just like if you were at the bank and someone asked the banker something, even if you didn't hear exactly what the person asked, you're probably going to hear what the banker says, right? If you're, I mean, you shouldn't be that close, but just example, if there are two players really close and they press the current rate thing, it is going to it's just going to say to everyone, I don't have a C equals, near, in the selector where I give um, their chords, and then I say R equals 2. There is no just tell one player. If you just wanted to tell one player, you would put another comma in the brackets, like right after R equals 2, and you would put C, meaning count, equals, and you could say 1. And then it would only tell that to one player. But I don't care, and I think it's kind of flavor onto the world that if you're standing in line and someone asks what the current rates are, you also get to see it. Make sure you're putting the spaces in between, like when you write down gold and then 6, you want to make sure you put a space, 8, when just so that people can read it and they can see the difference. Okay, second one is done. Let's go to the third one if you aren't there already. I did this on purpose so that if people, paid attention and they wanted to, save up some money, buy netherite while it's cheap or diamonds while they're cheap, and then sell them back when the bank will pay more. I think that'd be a cool kind of economic loop. I wouldn't do that, but someone else might. I don't have the patience. Okay, so the third one is gold is 2 and 4. Diamond 30 and 35. Okay. I'm going to do the fourth one now. Now remember, so when you have these numbers and you make this yourself, make sure that if you're changing the numbers of what I'm teaching or what I'm doing, you need to, when we do the actual exchange, where maybe if it's season one, which would be spring, and you are going to and I don't even know. I put sell by like this because I'm thinking I would sell the gold to them for 3 and then I would buy from them for 5. But sometimes, I always think of buy sell instead. But that's not how I wrote it down. You can change that. It's, your preference. But you're gonna have to remember that if in season one the bank is going to buy gold from people for 3 and then the bank is going to sell gold for 5 to those players, that you need to know those numbers because that's part of the actual exchange system, and you don't want to have different numbers. If you follow this and then you change the amounts when we're actually putting in the commands to give people money or take money from them and take their diamonds or whatever, you want to make sure that they all match up. I like this. I like this system. I like this system a lot. All right. Just to make sure that I got everything, I'm just going to click down here. And if I go back a space, perfect. So, at the end, when you open up the command blocks, I don't know if you can put commands past the last line, but the command block itself will put dot, dot, dot as if you did. So I like to just check that, but I didn't. So I'm just going to go over everything and read them all out, and then we'll know that the first button is done. Execute if score season Wellbridge matches 1 run tell raw at P, then the chords, radius 2, raw text, current exchange rates, sell by gold 35, diamond 2025, netherite 175, 195. Perfect. Execute if score season Wellbridge matches 2 run tell raw at P x 140, Y equals 64, C equals negative 792, R equals 2. Raw text, current exchange rates, sell by gold 6-8, diamond 25-30, netherite 165, 185. Perfect. Third one, execute if score season well bridge matches 3, run tau raw. Add P, chords R equals 2, raw text, current exchange rate, sell by, gold 2-4, diamond 30-35, netherite 185, 220. And then the last one, execute if score season well bridge matches 4, run tau raw, add P, here's your chords, R equals 2, raw text, current exchange rates, sell by, gold 5-7, diamond 45-50, netherite 150, 170. Um, Personally, I think if you are doing this with me in your notebook, just put down my chords. That way you understand, unless you're actively, while you're watching this, playing Minecraft and finding your own chords. In your world, the chords are going to be different. In your world, the scoreboard that has the fake player named Season is probably not going to be named Wellbridge, right? You're probably not going to name your world Wellbridge. But just to show again, if you come up here, the chords that I'm picking for the player are, let's see, we said 140. So 140, 6-4, -792. So the player can either be right here or 2 away. So basically it's anyone who comes and clicks on them right here. If they're over here or over in there, like doing the XP, they're not going to see this message come on their screen. And what we just did was this button right here. If I press current rates, well, it's not going to show me because I'm in creative, but it would show me. Oh, wait, it's not going to show me because I'm in the air. I'm not in the right spot. See, look. Okay. But if I had been standing up there, it would have showed me that. Because the time is changing, I'm not going to mess with that. Perfect. First button is done. Next button for the public facing Celine. The next one is the second button. I have it called the exchange. It is on button press or button mode, and this is pretty easy. Now, I'm going to go ahead and write this down as I'm writing it down. And I'm going to show you what I mean with this command. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add something to this command. So I apologize if you have to erase, but I'm going to add it right now. I'm going to go where it says R equals 1. I'm going to put a comma. I'm going to put a C equals 1. So count equals 1 as well. Just in case, it picks up 2 NPCs. And we're going to use add initiator. So right now we know that, and I'm going to show you the NPC that I did for that. So we're looking for x equals 141, okay? y equals 59 and z equals 794. So that's not right. 141, 59, negative 794. So that is this one. And it's going to open up the dialog of this one. This is the dialog, and we're going to come to here, but this is what this Celine does. So to the player that's in the bank, that's talking to the one Celine, when they press this second button, it is going to change their dialogue and pull up this Celine's dialogue. And this is the entire exchange system that we'll get into. And that's how you find the NPC for it to open. And then the third button is going to be XP savings. And that's the XP system. How you can withdraw or even check your balance without having to go give up XP. Without having to bank XP, you can just press that button and it will pull up a different NPC, their dialogue. This is also button mode. When you're building this, you'll know, okay, I need another NPC and I need to put it at a certain chords, and then write down the chords and you put the chords in, your chords in. And I'm also going to change this, and after R equals 1, I'm going to put a comma, a space, and C equals 1. Just because the more I spend time with all these NPCs down here, I do not want to glitch the system by trying to pull more than one dialogue up. And again, it's going to be at initiator. So whoever pressed the button, they're the ones who see that dialogue. So that's it. That's the first Celine.
That concludes Minecraft Engineering Notebook entry 004.1. The banking system continues in entry 004.2. Thank you for spending your time with me today. I hope this documentation helps you build your own projects and makes your own engineering notebook a little easier to fill. If you found this entry helpful, please consider liking the video and subscribing to Sachi's archive. I'm Sachi, and thank you for joining me today. I'll see you in the next entry.